Why, hello there. Welcome to my garage. Today we're going to talk about something a little bit different, something with class. I'm talking about the SCL500 from Honda Motorcycles Canada. Now, why am I just sitting down in my garage talking about this thing? Well, this so happens to be one of the motorcycles that I liked for 2023. One of my, one that hit right here in my motorcyclist heart. Why? I couldn't tell you at first, but now I can tell you after ridden it for a few hundred kilometers and having a blast with it. Uh, it's the total package. First of all, just the looks. When I saw the launch video and all this stuff, I talked to to the people at Honda and I told them, is it possible for me to get one? Well, so happens this is the only one that was available for media, and I'm the first one to get it, so I'm very happy. Uh, but I just next day I was down at the at Honda Canada headquarters, picked this thing up, and it's even better looking in person. That green peanut type tank, it looks like a 60s or 70s scrambler motorcycle, and that's pretty much what it is. Uh, it's a no nonsense motorcycle that works from A to Z. I haven't found. Usually, I find a lot of little things that that gets me riled up about a motorcycle. Stuff I don't like. I'll tell you right up front because the list is so short, you're not going to believe it. Come here, Jason. The only thing I don't like about this bike is the exhaust here, where you can see that my boot already kind of melted on it. It's not that hot, but it's still marked up, and that bike is brand new. And the spacing of the foot pegs are a little bit towards the outside, so you have a tendency to want to ride your boot up here. That's why your boot's always here for the natural position. So, that's not bad. And that's the only thing I don't like about it. Believe you me. Uh, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the engine. Well, the base package is based on the Honda Rebel, the Rebel 500, which is much lower seat height. This one is the dimensions of a 70s 60s scrambler motorcycle. So it's not very high, but it's not too low. It's got a very small seat, but very comfortable. And if you look at it up close, it's about this thick. But the padding is really, really dense in it. And after, let's say, 10 or 15 minutes of riding it, your rear end just gets molded to it. It's awesome. I wasn't expecting comfort, and I got a lot of comfort on it. The ergonomics are standard motorcycles. You're more upright, and I rode it for a few hours. I was out with Jason. He was riding a sport bike, and I was riding this thing. And I thought I'd be always gunning it to be able to follow. And that little 471cc parallel twin. Honda doesn't give any power figures on their documentation, but in my book it's around 45 odd horsepower. But the best feature of it is this smooth as silk. There's absolutely no vibrations in the seat, in the handlebars, or on the foot pegs, and that says a lot about the quality of this engine. It's very well balanced at all RPM range. This thing is going to go up right in the 8,000 up range, and it pulls great from down low. Mid range is where it's happy. It loves the mid range, and like any parallel twin, it doesn't like high revving. But the engine is number one. Little feature you have here: the clutch is cable actuated, and you just got to come here and see this. Bring the camera over, Jason. One finger. And this, yep, can you believe this? And the clutch engagement is just I'll call it perfect. There's nothing perfect in this world, but for me, this is perfect clutch engagement. The the whole setup of this bike, and it's really, really basic. There's one brake disc in the front, one in the back. This is twin pot calipers in the front, single pot in the back. Uh, at first, I didn't like the brakes because I thought they lack a little bit of power, but as soon as the pads bedded in, perfect. And it's got ABS. And the clutch has a slipper clutch feature. So what the advantage of that bike for a guy like me who's been riding motorcycles for like 35 years, it's easy to get on. But at the same time, if you're a beginner motorcyclist, and let's say this is your first bike, well, it's not going to be hard for you to actually get on it and start riding because of the clutch engagement, because of the position, your body position. Look at this. You're seating up. The seat, I love the seat again. And you're a little bit tilted forwards. And there's no fizzy-jigs on this bike. There's ABS and a slipper clutch. And that's it. It's a fuel-injected bike. By the way, the PGM FI from Honda always amazes me. It's spot on. There's no jerkiness in the throttle. It's just, it's near perfect. One of the best fuel injections in the business. And actually, Honda was one of the first companies that actually mastered a multi-port fuel injection on a motorcycle back in the late or mid-90s. So yeah, again, no fizzy-jigs, no controls, no complicated controls. You got the high beams, you got the kill switch, you got hazards here, you got a starter, and the flashers. And that's it. Mirrors are perfect. They're not buzzy. So you can see clearly what's going on in the back. And the info center here is just very, very legible. Sorry, my English sometimes, I stumble on my English. But it's very legible, even in direct sunlight. And at night, it's not too bright. I love this bike. And it's offered for $9,090, including transport, including PDI and setup fee. Can you believe this? It sounds a little bit expensive, but there's one thing. The engines, the motorcycle, this motorcycle is going to be, like drop dead reliable. So add some oil, do a little bit of maintenance, like there's about greasing the chain, oiling the chain up, and checking brakes, and doing an oil change, once in a blue moon. This thing is gonna last forever. This is why I like this bike, because it's not complicated, but it's fun to ride. I love riding this thing, and I have to take it back to Honda tomorrow. And I'm a little bit disappointed because I wish I could have had it longer. I'm gonna try and get it after the other media outlets get it. But this, I'd consider having this in my own garage. Yeah. Suspension, it's simple motorcycles as it should be. And, seasoned riders like me, or beginner riders, or smaller stature, like a small statured woman can easily ride this bike with no hassle. And it's light. You can pick it up. If you drop it on the ground, it's easy to pick up. Everything is good about this thing. Do you really need a 750, 1000, or that big V twin like 1600 or 1800 when you can ride this with no buzziness, way enough power to follow any custom bike out there? They're not going to lose you. I was riding with a super sport bike. Jason was driving a S1000RR M series, and I was with him all day long with this. And yeah, on the straights he's going to lose me, but you understand what I'm talking about. This is a motorcycle that can be used in the city, in the back roads. It can handle some highway driving, and on a closed piece of road, we got it well over 140 kilometers an hour, close to 160. So that means 100 miles an hour off a little 500, and no shakiness, It was stable, stable, stable. I love this bike. So try and go and see them at your local Honda dealer if you're interested. Just sit on it. You'll get it. Trust me, you'll understand. I have to take this back tomorrow, so I'm going out riding. So if you like what we do, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel or the social media outlet that you see this video on. We really appreciate it because we are independent and we are not financed by manufacturers. So money comes in from your views. Help us out. Well, I'm Mark, and behind that camera is Jason, and we are the Motor Guys. And I'm taking this out riding again because it's just too fun. Later.